Good morning, everybody. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option. I am joined by one Andrew T. Giovinazzi, the Viking of volatility. And this is the Ticker Highlight Show. Leisha is out on assignment this week. She's been assigned to have a good time.
Yes,
and
exactly.
So it's just going to be the two of us, but each week at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 Central, 8:30 Mountain, 7:30 Pacific Time. Hawaii, you can figure it out. We meet here to discuss our ticker of the week. And this week's ticker is the maker of Air Jordans, the maker of Air Force Ones, the maker of all kinds of Nike merch. It is Nike. So let's dig in. And, it has, when I pull up Nike, I want Nike, not NVIDIA. Nike has had a really rough 2024. On December 22nd, this stock was trading $122, relatively near some of its highs. Its 5-year high is all the way up at 170. That was during the booming, bristling 2021. But even after getting a nice sell-off in 2022, like most of the market did, it recovered and, it's gotten down to the level that it's currently trading at a few times. It hit into the very high 80s in October of 2022, got into the low 90s in September of 2023, and here we are again. It bottomed out below 90 and has managed to rally its way back to the 21-day moving average, but it still looks soft. From a technical standpoint, I think Leisha would be saying it needs to fill its gap, and the gap would actually put it right back at the 50-day moving average of around $98. With the haircut this thing has had, fundamentally, the PE is now high, but reasonable. The company does make a lot of money. Jordan Brand is, Jordan Brand has kind of become its own thing. Jordan Brand might be bigger than Nike itself at this point. Every kid wants Jordan 1s. I was at Christmas time, and Santa's coming around and asked Valentino what he wants, and he's got like 3 different axolotl things. Valentino is my younger son. He likes axolotls. He axolotl questions. But Mark just said, I want a second pair of Jordan 1s. So he has the original ones, which are the red and black, which look sharp. He was wearing those to school today. And now he got the Carolina blue ones, or as I like to say, the Villanova blue ones. And the Santa replied, "Oh, you too?" Basically, every kid aged 12 to 16 wants Jordan 1s.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. If you want to surprise your 2 older boys, get them each a differing pairs of Jordan 1s. Get one the red and one the blue.
Oh, they're in college now, though. They're not.
They will like it. Trust me. Half of their friends have them, I'll bet.
I guess I don't know. They do mixed martial arts in college, so I don't know what they're in. It's hard for me to figure it out anymore to keep track of them.
They will like the Jordan 1s if you get them for them. Trust me.
How much are the Jordan 1s?
Jordan 1s are like 100 and Lauren, how much are Jordan 1s? Oh, Lauren always gets them on a deal, but they're like $150.
That's a lot for a sneaker for a kid in high school.
Right. But your kids are in college. Their feet are done growing. So
okay. Yeah, okay.
And literally that was all he got. He got that and a Nike sweatsuit, and that was it. It's not like we're spoiling him rotten. If he wants that one thing, we'll get it for him. I mean, we're spoiling him, but not spoiling him rotten. But anyway, back to Nike. So my point is that they do have something in the Jordan brand. It's their general Nike apparel that I think is showing a little bit of signs of weakness, and that's where the softness has been. Air Force Ones are, we're hot for a bit. They're less hot now.
I mean, do they have anybody else with any cachet left? Tiger left to start his own like dumb clothing brand. I don't even know what that is.
No, LeBron.
Oh, LeBron is a Nike guy?
Oh, yeah. Most of the NBA is Nike guys.
Yeah, but there's not like, do you feel like do you feel like they have any real like, how they always used to feel like they were more relevant,
Yeah, well, I think the issue is that, they became a little too NBA heavy.
Okay. And
people have stopped watching the NBA. Look at the NBA ratings.
Oh, really? I don't know. I haven't watched it in like 20 years. So
the All-Star game was an embarrassment.
Well,
and people are, and the games themselves they don't play defense anymore. They all like each other. The issue is the NBA was awesome when they hated each other, right? Like Magic and Bird are friends now. They hated each other when they were playing each other. Jordan hated the Pistons, didn't like Magic Johnson, didn't like Larry Bird, right? Now they see each other at games. They're all like, hey. And, that I think is, you'll see people say like there's some wokeness there or something like that. I don't think I think the issue is that people don't really watch. They became too NBA heavy,
Well, I mean, it's not like a totally cheap stock. I mean, it has been historically a good stock, but I mean, it's
27 PE isn't terrible.
I would say it's not crazy. It's not crazy, but it does depend on fashion to some degree.
Right. Well, fashion trends ebb and flow. Right now, Jordan 1s are huge. Air Force 1s, where everyone needed to par again for a little bit of Air Force 1s. But like I said, I do think they've got some issues internationally. They've got some issues in China. They need to diversify I think they need to diversify into other sports. People aren't watching men's tennis because there's like women's tennis is getting more viewers than men's.
I mean, you have to be realistic.
They lost Tiger, but Tiger,
men's tennis or women's tennis.
Yeah, but they made a big dive into golf, and now Tiger's gone.
All right.
Baseball, no, right? Football, football doesn't really have football is the biggest sport that is out there. And the problem is that it doesn't really create like recognizable, there's quarterbacks, but Patrick Mahomes is pitching State Farm, not Nike.
Right. Jerry.
Yeah.
Women's volleyball, best spectator sport ever.
Yeah. So women's tennis is great. But there's no recognizable stars in the men. Women's tennis is great, but who's the number one women's tennis in the world? Serena Williams is gone. Who's the number one tennis player in the world?
No idea.
Yeah, me neither. I can't name either of them. 10 years ago, you knew it was Federer and Nadal, and you knew it was the Williams sisters. 10 years before that, everyone knew Pete Sampras and Steffi Graf and Monica Seles. Oh yeah. So, and then they do have other brands that are at them. On Cloud, Hoka. I mean, they still get trouble from New Balance. So that is your issue that you've got with Nike. I think
you're feeling there's some headwinds.
They have headwinds, but I think they finally have kind of priced in the headwinds. The PE in Nike has always been a little bit aggressive. I didn't know they owned Converse now, but they own Chuck Taylors.
I think that was I saw that in the Nike movie when I'd like the story to get Michael.
That was a great movie.
That's
fun. Part of the reason why Jordan 1s became popular again.
All right.
So it's a great movie. Anyway, the point is, I think when I look at the stock chart, all right, earnings aren't for a while. I look at the stock chart, it's kind of priced itself back to a level where it's an interesting long. Now, you could argue I'd like to see it get over the 21-day, and I would. It has literally just failed it today. But I believe it will fill the gap, and it's heading back to $98, $99. And they will, and they've kind of priced it to a level where it's worth taking a stab at. So Andrew, that is my take. Maybe I was a little long-winded there, but I think I laid out they do have headwinds, but I think those headwinds are now priced in, and it's worth a long. Certainly below 90, it's a long, in my opinion. All right. So Andrew, there's my attempt at technicals and my attempt at fundamentals. Now, what are you seeing in the volatility space?
Well, so the shorter term vols are pretty low here. So like if you go just to so like 30, 60, like post earnings, pretty normal earnings power. This vol up a little bit more than normal. Like so we're talking June, probably the next earnings. So we've got earnings in June. So what are we now? April, May, June. So this is still maybe this is probably starting to cover the earnings cycle next time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say you have reasonable vols here. Not super expensive. I'm not having a lot of warm fuzzies over Nike. I feel like it's kind of a dead money trade. I would be more like a call calendar. The vol.
That is exactly. You read my mind. I was thinking bull call calendar,
like a 95 call calendar. Let's see if we can buy some
Yes, that you literally read my mind, Andrew.
So
get out of my head, you.
you head liver, you. Well, that sounded weird. Okay, so 95, so May 17, April, even the next week, then you can buy that call calendar for $1.
You want to do the April?
That would be just buy the May 17 ordinary. Those are $1.95, and selling the April 26 for next week for 83 cents.
That's a nice trade.
Call calendar.
Yeah, and then if it kind of slowly rallies, we can roll back.
Yeah.
Manage it that way, or if it gets to 95, we can turn it into a diagonal and give ourselves a little more delta. It really does give us a lot of room to mess around with it. I like that play a lot, Andrew. And frankly, for $1.95, if you're looking for the simple play, just the straight 95 call for $1.95 is not a terrible buy.
So we're buying the May. What is it? The May 17. I got to get my date switch. 1726. May 17. April. So if I'm doing this, which I will be in about 2 seconds. So part of this thing that Mark and I do here is you put any trade on, you just have to have a plan. So we buy the calendar. If Nike pulls back too much, all I'm going to do is replace the short calls and the calendar with a put. So I would say if we probably drop, let's see here, where is Nike? So I think a 90 put here would be a good, if you wanted to hedge the trade right out, you buy just one May. You can buy one May 90 call for $1, put for $1.20. And that way, if the stock does actually, if you get down to this level, your trade is free. Get out of my head, get into my chart. There you go. We have a solve. So
little
if
Billy
you wanted
Ocean
to hedge
action,
this
everyone
right
loves.
away, so this is about for 110. And then your hedge could be, okay. And you can just say, hey, if Nike pulls back 50 cents, whatever, you can do like whatever you want, really. You're just going to buy one Nike, May 17, 90 put, for, best price, whatever it is. So what I do something like this is like, okay, I'm going to buy the call calendar and I'll put an alert out. And if the alert never trips, stock goes up, we make money on our cow calendars.
Mm-hmm.
If the stock pulls back, you're like, I don't want to sit around too long and get slapped in the head. That's kind of how I think about that. So here, I'll give this to.
And if you're looking just super simple, you could buy a May 195 call for like $1.90. That would be my super simple play would be simply buy the call.
So let's see here. And I'm going to put my level. I wish Lisa was here. If she was here, she would give me some kind of level. So you got to do something for me, Mark. I'll say, what's the low of yesterday? See, the low of yesterday was 90. I would be kind of tight today. I would say like, I don't know, 92 and a half.
Yeah. I mean, my
92 and a half.
The close on Friday was $92. It breaks below the close from Friday. I think you want to, that's what trips your hedge.
Okay. All right. I'll do $92.
Yes.
That is lower than 92.01. Oops.
That's you're going to get a trip right away if you put that number in.
There we go. All right. There we go.
Alrighty.
And I will give this to
CP.
Yep. So hedge below $92.
All right.
And there's your trade. And then you
have it, folks.
Stock keeps going down. You sell the put. See what happens on the exit. We do have a whole month to go.
Indeed.
And that's kind of what your gig is here. So this is for CP.
All right, everybody.
Also, okay.
All right. Well, folks, we want to thank you for attending the Option Pit Ticker Highlight Show. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. You have a stock that you want us to go through, leave it in the comments, and you might just get your stock analyzed by the Option Pit team. All right, everybody.
So the hedge is a put. That is correct.
Yes. All right, everybody. So for the Viking of Volatility, Andrew T. Giovinazzi, I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.